Welcome back to the future, back in time. This time we're going to be having Einstein going. Einstein the dog, who's sitting here in town square. The first thing we do on a turn, of course, is we look at the turn tracker and we follow what it says there. So let's go ahead and do that first to start off Einstein's turn for this episode. And this time I actually got the entire track in, so you can see that when we get to, I think this is turn 20, the lightning strikes the tower here, and it's game over one way or the other, or it could be game over sooner if we lose, of course, the picture. All right, so it's Einstein's turn. Boom, we move here, and we have to follow what it says. So the first thing we're going to get is a new trouble level 1, and then we're going to have a movement. So, yay, let's take a look at what trouble is brewing in Hill Valley on Einstein's turn, and we have gang taunts Lorraine's friends. What? At the North Shops, effect, if Biff is at Lorraine's location, each Biff rolled on a die equals 2? Ooh, that's nasty. All right, that's going to be going off to the North Shops. I'll go put that out on the board here in a second. And our movement is moving Lorraine counterclockwise 3 spaces, and Biff gets 1 activation. All right, let's go back to the board and set those things up. All right, so way up at the North Shops, we are going to be putting the gang taunts Lorraine's friends. We're going to put that there. We need to have 1 love success roll on a die to get rid of it. And then we're going to go now, zooming out, and we're going to do that movement card, moving Lorraine counterclockwise 3 spaces, and then Biff's going to activate once. All right, so we have Lorraine sitting here with Marty at Lorraine's house, of course. We have Meet Joey here. So Lorraine's going to move counterclockwise 3 spaces, which is going to be, of course, this direction. And the characters move on the outside of the board. Only our main player characters can go into town square, as we know. So Lorraine's going to move 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. She's moving over here to Doc Brown's house. And now, again, looking at the card, we have Biff moving once. Biff is going to move to the closest, either Lorraine or George. If there's a tie between Lorraine and George for distance, he always goes towards Lorraine, because he's that kind of a creep. All right, so he's way up here. The school parking lot, he is now standing up again, so he will move 1 space this way to Hill Valley High on his way to Lorraine. He's not in Lorraine's space yet, so that's good. All right, it is Einstein's turn. He, of course, starting here in town square. It's going to be his first turn of the game. So we have to kind of think of a plan for him. I think we kind of want to get that the gang taunts Lorraine's friends taken care of. We also, Einstein's special ability is he has Bark Bark, which is once per turn if Biff is within 1 space of Einstein, which he is right now, you may move Biff up to 2 spaces. And you know what? We're going to activate his special ability right now, and we're going to take Biff and move him up to 2 spaces. So we're going to move him back to the school parking lot 1 space and over to the clock tower for 2 spaces. So I guess Einstein sees Biff trying to come towards Lorraine and chases him away. Good stuff. So that's his special ability taken care of. All right, we're going to have a plan now. I mean, we can go ahead and try to do this mission. I think we're going to send Einstein up to the North Shops and try and take care of that trouble, because if Biff ever gets in a space with Lorraine, she's going to take, the love meter is going to take 2 hits every time for 1 Biff on the die roll. And right now our love meter is sitting at +4, and we want to keep increasing it as much as possible. So we're going to try that. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to have to use a token to have Einstein move. Alright, and I put a little bead here on the character just so I remember as I'm filming and stuff whose turn it is, otherwise I could possibly get confused. Me get confused? Yes. We are going to need the love die to try and complete that mission. I kind of want Einstein to move the DeLorean as well, so we're going to go ahead and take this die right now for movement. So we're going to flip that over. That's going to give Einstein up to 3 movement. Let's go back to the board and have him do that. Alright, so Einstein's going to move up to 3. Of course, characters cannot move diagonally. Nobody can. So Biff can't go diagonally here, and Einstein can't go diagonally there. Everything's orthogonal movement. And we're going to have Einstein go 1, 2. So he only had to move 2 spaces to get to the trouble. Now, I think he's going to try to take the trouble out. And so he's going to need one heart success. You can roll any die you want. Of course, the heart die gives you better odds of doing that. So let's go back now to Einstein's little board, and we'll see if he's got a heart die that he can roll. All right, and Einstein, of course, he does have a heart die that he can roll. So we're going to flip that over. That's going to give Einstein a die to roll. Let's go back to the board, get out the dice tray, and hope for the best. All right, so Einstein's up here. He's trying to chase off, I guess, the gang that's taunting Lorraine's friends. And he needs a success. Let's hope he can get it. And he gets a Biff! He gets a Biff. All right, so we get a Biff roll. Well, that kind of sucks heavily. Biff, of course, Einstein chased him over to the clock tower, but Biff is determined to get back to Lorraine. Well, that sucked. Okay, Lorraine is down here at Doc's place, and George is here. So his shortest pass, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get to George, or 1, 2, 3 to get to Lorraine. Obviously, he's going towards Lorraine. So the Biff on the die, he goes back to the school parking lot on his way, try to go and harass Lorraine. Well, that was not good for Einstein. I don't really know what we're going to do with him now. The Biff roll on the die was really lame. Of course, we had a 4 out of 6 chance to not roll a Biff, but we did. So there it is. But at least Einstein chased him away. Okay, what else can we do? I think we're going to have Einstein try to move the DeLorean. I think that's probably... He doesn't have any more love dice to try and roll on that trouble. It's not going to do him any good. And he could go and try and do some of the other things. And I think what we're going to use him for, we're going to have him see if he can move the DeLorean. Alright, Einstein's no stranger to the DeLorean. He's been in it before. In fact, he was the first time traveler in the DeLorean. So we're going to use this particular token for him to move 3 spaces. So he will do that, and then he's going to use the 2 speed tokens here to give him 2 speed dice to get him moving the DeLorean. So, and you can only roll, of course, 2. That's the only amount of dice provided in the game. You can't roll more than on one roll, more than the number of dice in the game. All right, let's go move Einstein, and he's going to be rolling a couple dice. Let's see if we can get that DeLorean down the street. So first up, of course, Einstein has to move. So he's going to go 1, 2, moves over to the school parking lot where the DeLorean is sitting. I'm going to readjust the camera. We're going to zoom down, and we're going to see how far, or maybe we're going to roll a couple of Biffs, would be really bad, how far we can get the DeLorean going. All right, here we go. Come on, let's get some successes on the speed dice. And not great. Not great at all. We get 1 wild, which we're going to keep as a speed movement, and a Biff. All right, so for 1 movement, the DeLorean will move 1 space. It's into the Hill Valley High area now. Fortunately, Biff is on his way to Lorraine again. He's going to move 1 space right down here, which is pretty darn dangerous. Okay, that's everything Einstein can do. And so, go back to his player area. I'm going to flip over his tokens. Alright, and that's going to conclude Einstein's turn. So, what we do, of course, the end of every player's turn is we reset all of their tokens. And there we have it. All of his tokens have now been refreshed. All right, we're going to zoom out. We're going to wrap up our episode for today. I know they're extremely short episodes. Like I said, I want to try to catch any errors I do on each turn. I can do that through editing. If I do too many turns in a row, I'm going to mess things up, and it's going to be bad news. So I am getting every episode out every day, so they're coming pretty rapid fire. So there's that. So let's go back to the main board, and we'll wrap up. Alright, well, things did not go as planned. Of course, if you've watched the movie, you know things don't always go as planned either. So Einstein did his best. At least he got the DeLorean moving a little bit. Did not take out that gang taunting Lorraine's friends, but did manage to shove Biff back a couple spaces, but Biff is now only 1 space away from Lorraine. And that is not good. Up next, in our next episode, we're going to have Marty taking his turn. Marty's sitting down here at Lorraine's house with Joey. It's possible he could go ahead and do that mission, but he might need to go and see if he can knock the lights out of Biff. I don't know. I'm not sure what we're going to do. So that's going to be it. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, likes. Really helps out my channel. This is Back to the Future, back in time, and we are trying to get Marty and I guess Jennifer and Einstein, who were not in 1955. But anyway, they are in this playthrough, in our alternate reality of Back to the Future. Back in time, so we're trying to get the DeLorean to Doc Brown's house. We're trying to get the 3 pieces. We've got the cable already. We do need the gasoline, and we do need the DeLorean hook to attach to the DeLorean, and then we have to get the DeLorean over into either of these 3 spaces. And of course, we have to get Lorraine and George love meter up into the love zone. Easily done? No. But we'll see in future episodes. Thanks so much, and we'll see you tomorrow for the continuation of Back to the Future, Back in Time.